कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। सुन्दरे सुन्दरी सीता सुन्दरे सुन्दरी कथा सुन्दरे सुन्दरी लङ्का सुन्दरे किं न सुन्दरम् सुन्दरे सुन्दरी सीता अक्षता मरुते मुख श्रुत्वा हृष्टः तथैवस्तु स रामः सततं हृदि। Hanuman, who was born to Anjana Devi as Anjaneya Swami, who was called Sundara after his birth, later turned into Hanuman because of an incident that occurred with Indra's Vajrayudham, blessed by a bouquet of boons from the Devatas, later became a disciple of Surya Deva. After having been under the tutelage of Surya Deva, he asks Surya Deva what Gurudakshina to give. That is when Surya Deva says, having a student like you who is sincere, hardworking, and very passionate about the arts is in itself a dakshina. But Hanuman insisted that he should be giving Gurudakshina, because in Sanatana Dharma, without providing Gurudakshina to your Acharya, whoever be your Acharya, whether you are in school education, kindergarten, let us begin from kindergarten, school education, high school, then you go to college, university. It is very important, whatever little, suppose if the university or the school has some prescribed fees, we need to pay those fees in that stipulated time. Even if it is free education, let us say that the central government or the state government is subsidizing it for students, even then, I would urge the parents that you provide yatha shakti, whatever little is possible to the teacher, because anything, any knowledge, especially jnanam which is obtained for free will not last. So we are so much used to free this, free that, free this, free that. If people say that this lecture is ticketed, people get a lot perturbed. No, I thought it was free. Yes, whatever yatha shakti you have to provide. So that is jnanam, that is Gurudakshina. Hanuman insisted that he should be providing Gurudakshina to his Acharya. That is when Surya Deva said, since you are insisting, Hanuman, I would urge you to be always a very good source of guide, companionship with my Amsha, with my son who is born with my Amsha, who is Sugriva. You should always be his advisor. The moment Hanuman heard this, he promised his Acharya. He said, do not worry, I will always be with Sugriva. That is why for the first time in Kishkinda Kandam, when he introduces himself to Rama, he says, Sugriva Sachivo Nama Hanuman Nama Vanaraha. Know me to be Hanuman, I am a Vanara, but foremost, I am the Sugriva Sachiva, secretary, advisor to Sugriva. And he was very honest with whatever job he had taken. Now, besides being a Sachiva, a secretary, an advisor to Sugriva, he had become a Rama Bhakta. So, becoming Rama Bhakta, he said that I will go in search of Sita Mata. That is why, as a group of Vanaras, when they came in the southern direction, they all kept searching, and that is when they were guided by Sampati Vakya. So, the moment they heard from Sampati that Sita must be languishing in the prison of Lanka, that is when Jambavan motivated Hanuman and said, if at all there is someone who can effortlessly carry out this campaign mission, it is only you, Hanuman. That is when Hanuman Shatruhantara, the word used for Hanuman by Valmiki Maharshi is Shatruhantara. Shatru, not external Shatrus alone, Shatrus who are inside. So those Shatrus were annihilated. That is why the shloka goes, Tato Ravananitayaha Sitayaha Shatrukarshanaha Iyesha Padamanveshtum Charana Charite Pati. So he was the Shatrukarshana, Acharya. So he is going to end up meeting Sita Devi allegorically. She is like the Jivatma, caught by the Aviveka called as Ravana. So Hanuman has to start, before which he offers his obeisances to his Acharya. Anjalim prangmukham kurvan pavanayatmayo naye tato hi vavridhe gantum dakshino dakshinam disham. He went in the southern direction. Sasuryaya, to his Acharya. Mahendraya pavanaya swayambhuve bhutebhyaschanjalim kritva chakara gamane matim. So he had to start in the southern direction. He offered his obeisances to his Acharya Suryadeva, to Indra, to Swayambhuva Brahma, to Pavana Vayudeva. But I did mention in one of my earlier episodes, he did everything right. But there was one small flaw. What was that? He was going in search of Jagannmata Sita. He should have first offered his salutations to her. He should have said, Manatitha pratita vibhavam mangalam mangalanam vakshaf pithe madhuvijayino bhushayanti svakantya pratyakshanushravika mahima prarthininam prajanam Shreyo murtim shriyam asharanastvam sharanyam prapadye. Or he should have said, Lakshmim kshira samudra rajatanayam shrirangadhamishwarim dasi bhuta samasta deva vanitam lokaikadipankuram Shrimanmantakatakshalabda vibhavad brahmendra gangadaram Tvam Trailokya Kutumbinim Sarasijam Vande Mukunda Priyam. Or he should have said, Ullasa Pallavita Palita Saptaloki Nirvaha Korakita Nema Kataksha Sriranga Harmyatala Mangalari Parekham Sriranga Raja Mahishim Shriyamashayamaha. Or he should have said, Kantaste Purushottama Phanipati Shayyasanam Vahanam Vedatma Vihageshwaraha Yavanika Maya Jagan Mohini Brahmeshadi Suravraja Sadayita Twadda Sadasi Ganaha Shrirityevatanamate Bhagavati Brumakatam Swavayam. He should have venerated Jagannmata Mahalakshmi, who is now Sita. That small flaw. We are all bundle houses of flaws. So Hanuman was flawless largely. This one flaw, that he did not salute Sita Mata and go. This is going to cost him later in Sundara Kandam. Nevertheless, he prayed to his acharyas. He took the farewell offered by his colleagues, his vanaras, and started. And before he could start, he had to motivate himself like a Malla who participates in a Dvandva Yuddham. So, here goes the effect. Valmiki describes what all effects were seen on the hill. Tena padapamukteena pushpaughena sugandhina sarvataha samvrita shailo babhau pushpamayo yatha. The blossomed flowers that were found in all the trees, they all started coming down and they stood on the horripilated hair of Hanuman. So it looked as if Hanuman was covered in pushpanki. That is, there was an entire dress made of embroidered with flowers. The rocks started developing cracks because the snakes started feeling the pressure and they came out of their holes. And as they were exerting pressure using their fangs, there were cracks in the rocks. Shiro biprutubhirnaga vyaktaswastika lakshanaihi vamantah pavakam ghoram dadarshu darshanaishila. Now, the medicinal herbs found in the slopes of the hills, they were trying to be the antidote to the stream of that poison that was coming out of these snakes. Yani tvaushadhajalani tasmin jatani parvate vishagraanyapi naganam nashekuhu shamitum visham. Despite the hill carrying so many medicinal herbs that could still it couldn't match the level of toxicity or the poison that was found in the stream emanated from the snakes. The Vidyadhara stood amazed. Darshayanto mahavidyam vidyadhara maharshayah sahitas tasthurakashe viksham chakruscha parvatam. Now Hanuman had to take off. Now I told you whether he took off like a flight or he propelled like a rocket. He propelled like a rocket. So from the place where he stood, he put his palms together as a namaskaram to his acharyas, his parents, his Ishtadevata Swami Prabhu Sri Ramachandra, and had to propel like a rocket. Now with the force with which he had to propel, the little plants, the shrubs around Hanuman, the plants around Hanuman, because of the force, they were also uprooted. So as Hanuman propelled, these plants around him also went up to a certain distance. But there is a gravitational pull. So they all had to fall after a certain distance. So they all went with Hanuman to a certain distance and then fell. Like how, look at the shlokam, what Valmiki says. Uruhu vegothita vriksha muhurtam kapimanvayuhu prasthitam dirghamadhvanam swabandhamiva bandhavaha. What a beautiful simile. Imagine there is a guest home. Some of our relatives have come home. They are very close to us. We have been as much hospitable as much as we can. And after having offered them good food, water and all comforts, they are leaving one day. So what is the right way of giving farewell to your guests? You will have to go till the gate, walk 7 steps and then say bye to them. So as they leave the house, the host also goes along with the guest till the gate and then says bye, and then the host returns. Similarly, Hanuman had to take off to Lanka. So the plants and the shrubs and the herbs also went along with him to a certain distance and said bye and came back. Like how the host will go to a certain distance, give farewell to the guest and then come back. So look at the simile. Prasthitam dirghamadhvanam swabandhamiva bandhavaha. So like how the host would go with the guest. Now the shrubs all came back. Hanuman had to get propelled. Hanuman flew. As he got levitated and leaped in the sky, how did it look like? The poets, they find such situations as candies and they will give the best of their efforts and description to it. They say that as he was leaping across and then there were dark clouds in the front while Hanuman was flying, it looked as if there was a strike of lightning that was seen in the backdrop of the clouds. So that fast he went, it seems. as he was going. He crossed the land portion and was now between the waters of Bharatadesham and Lanka. That is when he sees one mountain from a distance emerging from the deep waters. How can a mountain emerge suddenly until and unless there is something which is natural, a natural calamity where the water levels go down and then you can see what is beneath? He saw that a mountain was rising, so he was a bit doubtful. He was taken aback. What could this mountain be? Because Ravana could have deployed so many asuras in different forms in the waters too, right? So Hanuman was a bit confused. So are we. What could this mountain be? Who could this mountain be? How did Hanuman handle this particular obstacle? Next episode.
Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a two-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.